Hello and welcome. We're going to discuss how narcissism expresses itself in different signs of the zodiac. We are focusing this particular discussion upon the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. Now, Aquarius, the water bearer, on a natural chart where Aries is the first sign on a natural chart, Aquarius is the 11th sign, again, on a natural chart. The 11th sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. Aries the first on a natural chart, and then Aquarius the 11th on a natural chart. Now, keep in mind that everyone has some narcissistic attributes. All of us do. And that a person without any narcissism whatsoever would have such a weak personality, devoid of any ego strengths, that she or he could not function in society. Narcissism refers to qualities in an individual of possessing self-love, egotism, self-centeredness, also self-absorption, and conceit. The psychological profession describes a condition which they term as NPD, or Narcissistic Personality Disorder. This psychological syndrome presents with a person that lacks empathy for other human beings and also lacks empathy or sympathy for other creatures, requiring constant and excessive respect, appreciation, approval, continual high self-esteem from other people, as well as being unable to participate in healthy relationships. Nevertheless, this is not a discussion about the medical aspect of NPD. Rather, we are taking a look at normal individuals, normal people, everyday people, and how narcissism expresses itself through each sign of the zodiac. Although I am a licensed registered nurse, I am not a psychologist. And even though I have worked in psychiatric units as a charge nurse and a team leader, as well as in other areas of the hospital, such as medical surgical nursing, also telemetry, recovery room, surgical theater, and neonatal intensive care, I have those experiences. But for several decades now, I've worked as an astrologist. So we are approaching this subject. I am going to approach this from the point of view of an astrologist or an astrologer. That's how we're going to proceed. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. I'm a Rosicrucian seer, biblical astrologer, Christian psychic, and Gnostic mystic. And this is a readings by Rosemary angelic transmission. All right, so we're going to proceed then with talking about how astrology, again, how Aquarius the water bearer is going to express in astrology in regards to narcissism and the narcissistic personality in normal people, and how to keep tendencies that might turn it into a disorder. We're going to talk about how to keep it on an even keel so it's actually something that can be a boon to you rather than having it be something that's a detriment. Now, in astrology, narcissism itself is something that expresses via the ego matrix of the personality. And although the ego is often thought to be that of an arrogant know-it-all or a brazen smart aleck, it can also sneak into confidential connections as counterfeit modesty, ignoring one's own gaffes while grandstanding the faults of others, and denying people the happiness of getting to know the actual person hidden inside the ego out of a sense of fear, guilt, or shame. Every sign has its virtues and its vices. The virtues are the angels, and the vices are the demons or the devils. For Aquarius, the water bearer, the main virtue is social fairness. That's the virtue, that's the angel. And the chief vice, or demon, or devil, is willfulness. Now, humanitarianism is one of Aquarius's vast potentials for good in the world. With that said, Aquarius's intractable and determined attributes are balanced by the water bearer's civilized crusades for communal impartiality, in that Aquarius's compassion and big-heartedness for all peoples and tribes brings social justice to the table for any serious discussion, and that's a wonderful quality. These attributes give the water bearer a superbly charitable nature, along with philanthropic learnings and sort of tendencies, yet to cause Plex Aquarius's kindly heartstrings. So remember, there's philanthropy and charity, and added to the humanitarian bent or leanings or tendencies. And again, that is going to make Aquarius someone who can be someone who wants to give to many causes if that cause sort of plucks at their heartstrings. Now, Aquarius, you are also known to be quite deliberate in your dealings with others on a personal level, on a very personal level. The water bearer, though, doesn't value wasting time. Okay? You don't want to waste your valuable time ruminating over emotional turmoil. Rather, you use your luminous brain power to solve problems, Aquarius. That's what you're good at. You are someone who solves problems. And that's what other people look to you for. That's what you're the go-to person for, Aquarius. Now, the water bearer has an uncanny talent to consider innovative solutions that no one else has ever thought of in an effort to solve your own problems or to fix a troubled world. Occasionally, Aquarius's family, significant others, and close friends might feel that your attitude is superior or patronizing to them. Close relations could also feel that the water bearer is being emotionally chilly, and then sort of turn right around to whine about you being too dreamy and too fickle. With your astrological divine tone being I know, Aquarius's skill for going on intentionally determined quests to better the situations of both yourself and others could leave those nearest to your heart to feel left out. Okay? Once you realize that your non-Aquarian best friends and dearest or closest relations are simply not as quick and clever as you are, especially when it comes to righting the world's wrongs, you will have more patience for their self-pitying attitudes. Okay? So these people, it's like that are closest to you, they sort of want you to be with them more. Okay? And you're off sort of saving the world. And that's where it sort of could begin to become somewhat of a problem in these types of relationships for you. Now, how Aquarius can keep mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy is to understand that if other people occasionally become argumentative or angry with you, Aquarius, it's because they either feel ignored or they feel unimportant or talked down to or run over due to the water bearer's strong air of air astrological trait, a fixed air of air at that, right? And that astrological trait gives you a very forceful purpose. Now, Aquarius's powerful will could cause feelings of irrelevance in earth signs, could cause water signs to feel disregarded or sort of tossed aside, and fire signs to feel manhandled, or what they want in a given state of affairs is not being considered. That's how fire signs might feel. Of course, other Aquarians and other air signs relate to keeping a cool head and are often grateful for the water bearer's ability to think with a very swift and expansive mind. Aquarius's, when Aquarius recognizes the different priorities of other zodiac signs, then you are able to be tolerant and relate to them in an optimistic manner, which some zodiac signs could find naive or impractical. Nevertheless, don't allow the pessimists of this world to dampen your sharp intelligence for coming up with benevolent resolutions to problems, Aquarius. Instead, Aquarius, use their fears to guide you to yet more problem solving, because these types of pragmatists will ultimately be very grateful for your help, even if they don't want to show their gratitude to you outright due to their own embarrassment that they weren't able to see the answer for themselves. Your relationships will really blossom, Aquarius. And just by adding a little bit of acceptance of the seeming emotional weaknesses of other zodiacal signs. So a little tolerance for their weaknesses is going to take you a long way, okay? Now, regarding the information in this presentation and in the attached document in the description box below, this information is based on the oral tradition known as Kabbalah, taught to me by a Rosicrucian clergy when I was but a young girl, the facts of which I have committed to memory. Thank you so much for joining us, and please join us again next time.